In previous tutorial, you saw that we installed the React Hook form and used it to manage our forms states better. And when we have a React.js or a Next.js project, using React Hook form is a better solution than the traditional way, which was using different states. And it is a better solution to use React Hook form. But for the validation, we use the inline validations of React Hook form. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you we have a better solution, which is YAP package. So let's go and see how we can use the YAP package inside of React Hook form and our React.js or Next.js projects. Well, this is the npm page of YAP, and you can see that it has over that 5 million weekly downloads, and it says that this is a very popular package. So how we can use YAP? We can import something from YAP, for example, object and string and number and the others, and we can use this object of the YAP and we create, you can see here, an object with the name of our fields, for example, name, email, age, the others, and we can use these validation functions like string and required and the others, and that's it, simple and easy. And also, because we are using React Hook form, we need to have another package to resolve this validation. So we use this @sign hook form slash resolvers, and inside of that we can simply create, let's me show you here. First we import the YAP resolver and also we import the YAP, and here we create an schema using yap.object.shape, and then inside of our hook form where we use our use form hook, we can pass a new object to it and we can use the resolver, and we pass the yap resolver with our schema. That's it. And we just need to register our fields like what we did in our previous tutorial. Let's go and do this. So what we can do, I can simply copy this npmi @hook form resolvers from here. Let's go to our project, and this is our project. You can download this project from the GitHub repository, and the link of it is in the video description. So let's go to the app and inside the singular. So this is the RH form, and the page.jsx is the file that we used in our previous tutorial. Inside of this form, we have some inputs with the React Hook form, which is configured here, and used it here with the register and also some validation. So we need to create a new file, and instead of creating it, I simply copy this page.jsx and paste it inside of rhf-yap. So this is the file that we are going to use. Let's minimize this and let's change this name to rhf-yap page, and also I will export default this. Now let's have some cleanup, so I don't need user state, and also let's delete this x, we don't need this, and also let's delete all of these comments, we don't need them in this tutorial. And also let's go here and let's delete this h1 with re-render, we don't need it, and I delete this object and I use format document. So you can see that I have an input with type of text and placeholder of name, and I just register this name, and this register is coming from our React Hook form. Let's go and delete all of the validations that we used in our previous tutorial, and you can find the link of the previous tutorial in the video description. So let's delete this, and also let's delete all of these validations. Now let's use format document. Well, now it's clean. You can see that this is just a component, and we have the configuration of React Hook form, and also we are using this on submit inside of the form. We pass the handle submit with callback function test. So inside of this, we just receive the data from the React Hook form, and we just console.log them. So if our form is submitted successfully, we can see the log of our data in console. That's it. We just have 4 different inputs with register of name, registered email, registered phone, and also registered password. That's it. So let's use format document. Now let's install the package. So let's copy the name again. I will go to the view and terminal, and here let's press Ctrl C to stop our project. I use clear, and I will paste the npmi @hook form slash resolver that we copied from the website, and also we need YAP. So I will press enter, and we need to wait to install the hook form slash resolvers and also YAP, and they're installed. Let's use npm run dev again to start our project. Let's open it. And while it's opening, let's go here and see how we can use the resolver. So you can see that we can copy these two to import the YAP resolver and also start as YAP. And also we need to create an object, and inside of this object we can use the validations we need, like the name and age and the others, and then we can use the resolver of YAP resolvers. So let's do this. Let's copy these two lines from here and go back to our project, and I minimize the terminal and let's paste them. So we import the YAP resolver, and also we need to import star as YAP. Then we need to create an object. So let's do this. So I can use the YAP.object.shape, and inside of this shape I can use an object, and here I can implement my validations. For example, what do we need to have for the name? I want to have, let's use YAP.string. So I say this must be a string field, and also I use the required, so it would be required in our validations, and that's it. Let's copy paste it. So after name, what do we have? We have the name and also email. Let's paste it. And after that, let's have phone. And after phone, we have password. So let's paste it. Let's use the format document. And I'm using Prettier. Let me show you quickly. Here you can see that this is the Prettier code formatter I'm using for auto formatting my code. And here, if I use format document, the Prettier will format my codes quickly. This is it. So after this, we have this schema, and we need to use this schema in our use form hook. So how we can do this? It's too easy. Here inside this use form, we can pass an object to it. And here, let's press Ctrl space to see the suggestions. You can see that we have a lot of options like the context, criteria mode, default values, and the others. I need to use the resolver. So for the resolver, I say you need to use the YAP resolver, and we pass this schema to it. So we created a schema here, and we used it with the YAP resolver inside of my use form hook. So now this validation must be used inside of our form. Let's go to the front end and test it. First, let's check our project is running. Yes, it's running. So let's check it. Let's go to the RHF-YAP page. Well, this is it. So let's click the inspect and see our console, because we need to see it and minimize everything. So if I press send to backend, you can see that everything is required. So name is a required field, email, phone, password. You can see that this part is repeated in all of them. So this is a template which is coming from the YAP, and also you can see that all of them are required. And if I press send to backend, nothing would be logged. But if I use anything here and here and here, and I say save to backend, you can see that this is the console.log that is using. It says that we submitted our form successfully. So you see that this was a better way of the validation of the React Hook form itself. Now let's see what other validations do we have. So if I go to the YAP, you can see that if I go down here, you can see here inside of the table of contents that we have a lot of schema functions. For example, nullable, non-nullable, optional, required, when, test, and for example, required length, minimum, maximum, matches for regex, email, ensure UUID, and so many options. So let's see some of them inside of our project. So here I have the name. For example, for the name, I want it to be a string and also required. And after this required, I can pass, for example, the length. So I need it to be exactly 5 characters. So I can use the length of 5. So it would be exactly 5 characters. And also, for example, this is an email. So we need to check that if it's a valid email or not. I use this. Well, we have it. And then for the phone, for example, we can use the minimum or maximum. So I use minimum of 11 numbers. So it needs to be 11 numbers. And also we can change this to number that require dot minimum. And also for the password, we can say that it needs to be dot minimum of 3 characters. And also let's see one of the useful options. So you can use the one of or not one of. For example, for the password, I want to check that it is not 111 or AAA. So I can use the not one of, and inside of that I can pass an array to it, and I can use 111 and also AAA. So this is it. Now let's use the format document. Well, now we added length and also email and minimum or here you know what, you can use maximum and also minimum. So here I can use dot minimum of 11 and also maximum of 15. I think it's better to see it. And then we have required a minimum of 3 characters, and we say this must be not one of this or this. Now let's go and check it. So that's it. Now if I use send to backend, well, you can see that we have name is required, email, phone, and so we have required. Now let's use A and A and A and A. Well, this time you can see that name must be exactly 5 characters. So let's say A, B, C, D, E, F. Well, you can see that when we have 5 characters, it's okay. When it's less, we have error. And when it's more than 5 characters, we need to be exactly 5 characters. So let's use exactly 5 characters. No, it's okay. The next thing is email must be a valid email. So if I use something at sign something, it would be true. And that's it. So after that, we have phone must be a number type, but its final value was none or not a number. So we need to use 4. Now you can see that that error is gone, but we have another error. Phone must be greater than or equal to 11. So let's use this. And now you can see that it is not 15 characters. Why? Because this is a number, not a string. So we say that it must be equals to 15 or greater. So we can use 15 and that's it. And after that, we have the password must be at least 3 characters. So we can use anything. But if I use AAA, you can see that password must not be one of the following values, 111 or AAA. And also, we can change this message. Let me show you that. And if I use AAA, it's okay. And we can see the log of it in here. So let's see how we can change the message inside of our project. Well, for each of them, we can pass a message to them. For example, for this one, we can say must be a string. And also for the email, we can say if it's not email, not valid email. And also, for example, for this password, you can pass after this array, we can pass a message to it, for example, not a valid password. And that's it. So let's format the document. Now let's check it again. So, and you know what, let's use just one of them. For example, let's delete this minimum. And for the maximum, we can pass max number must be 15. Okay, let's use the format document. Now let's check it again. And if I refresh here to be sure everything is clean. Well, if I use send to backend, now you can see that I have them. So if I use A, well, name must be exactly 5 characters. But here it says not a valid email. So if I change it to an email, it's true for now. Then it says phone must be a number. So I use 1. 1 is valid. But if I use 19, it says maximum number must be 15. That's good. So I use, for example, 11. And also here, password must be at least 3 characters. And if I use anything, it's true. But this time, if I use AAA, it says not a valid password. And that's it. So you can see that we have a lot of validation functions here. And you can see list of all of them here inside of the YAP documentation. I will put the link of this page on the video description for you. And that's it. So you see that it is a better solution to use YAP when we are using React Book Form for validating our inputs. I hope this video helps you. Let me know your opinions in the comments. Have a good time and goodbye.